Hello folks and welcome back. I thought I'd better check in and let you know I'm still about. It's been a good while now since I uploaded a video. I think the last couple was Gardener's World, and before then on the Allotment. It's probably 3 or 4 weeks. I've still been on the Allotment, but if any of you follow me on social media, you'll know that I've been doing other things, been out and about, and also doing quite a bit of work in the garden now. When I've been out on the Allotment, I have been filming, but not as much. For the people who do your video for YouTube, you'll know, especially if you're filming on your own, setting up a camera can take quite a lot of time, so it's been a nice break away from doing that. However, I've got a number of clips that I'd like to share with you. These are going back probably 3 to 4 weeks, as I said before, and rather than put you into a time warp showing these, I'll bring the video up, but also do a bit of a voiceover, and it'll ease you in and let you know the situation more. So let's crack on. The first clip we look at is the Brassica bed, and it's full of weeds to start with, so I'll give it a real good weed. It took quite a while, but got there in the end. But the main problem I had, and quite a few other plot elders on site, we got hit by infestation of aphis, and it really hit the plants hard, much so that they stopped growing. In fact, I almost got to the stage where I was going to rip them out. However, I decided to persevere, and then I give them a spray with this called SB plant invigorator, and that then seemed to clear them of the pests, but more importantly the plants started growing. Well, that's my effort at weeding. I must say, they don't look too pretty at all. It has knocked them about, but hopefully they'll start growing through it again. The soil's actually drier than I'd like it to be, but I don't want to water them yet and risk washing off the spray, so I'm going to leave them for a few days and see how they get on. In the meantime, I'm going to have to put the net on. I haven't seen no butterflies around here for a long while really, but as soon as the net comes off, it's as though somebody sends a WhatsApp message out and they appear from everywhere. But I'm going to put the net here. There's one just arriving over the back, as you can see. Right, so I'm going to get the net on and get them protected again. So the weeding's all done now and the net's on. It did take a bit longer than I thought it would, but I think I've done a thorough job, so hopefully that's going to last now with the hoe in the middle. In the end I succumbed and decided to give it a little bit of a water because the topsoil was cracking. You can see there, probably, I don't know if it'll show up here, that is the benefit of the sowing, planting in rows, is I could easily get the hose pipe in between the plants and not really splash the foliage. It's soaked in nicely. We've got some hot weather coming in at the moment. I think the weekend we could be up to around 34, 35 C, which in our money is around about 95. So I wanted to get the soil at least moist. I know underneath here the soil is fairly moist because there's a lot of cow manure has gone in over time. And I do like to let the brassica roots go down. I tend to only water these 2 or 3 times after planting and then leave them to their own thing, and they seem to do okay. Hopefully these are going to pick up now the weed's done and they had the spray on the foliage. Looking onto the Vegepod, I've got quite a mixture of plants there, including 4 peppers, and the rate the other plants grow, I think they swamped the peppers out and they suffered, and in the end I ended up pulling them out. But the big winner in there for me was the spring onion. This is a lovely, okay, I might have to get the fork in. Give it a good shake. That's better. It's a nice bunch of spring onions. These are my favourite ones, and they're called ramrod. Smells beautiful. I'm looking to start emptying the cold frame now. The sun's a bit low now, so I'll try and get a bit of shade to show you. During my time away, the gladiolus have done fairly well. Them are poking their heads up, so I'm going to get them out. But I've also got 2 gutters of peas there, and there's still enough space in the pea frame, so I'm going to try and get those popped in as soon as possible. Back out on the plot, it was time to get the second sowing of the peas in the earth green shaft. The first one that took off, but as usual I have to cover them with the net because the sparrows like them. Anyway, I've created the trenches and slid them in, and I'll give you an update as I move around the plot a little bit later on. This is when you find out who your true friends are. This is the old Comfrey cauldron. It smells delicious. These are just normal leaves that I've put in, soaking in water. Some people choose to use the leaves, compress them and take the liquid off as a concentrate and then dilute it. I've tried both methods, but I prefer to just put the leaves in the barrel of water, leave it for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then just use the liquid straight off. There is a bonus. We've got this nice little crust on the top. What I do, I'll just lift this off with a fork, and I pop that on the compost heap, and it seems to do quite well. And then I'm left with just the liquid gold. I'll just quickly show you here. I'm ashamed to say this is my onion bed. A few weeks away, plus the 2 weeks before that, didn't even bother. As you can see, the nettles and the weeds have taken over. So I'm going to be spending the next probably day or so weeding that. But I've already started on this one. As you can see, that's come up quite nicely. All I want now is the onions to start bulking up. The harvest of shallots this year have been a little bit disappointing. Although they've actually split, they've put no size on in the bulb, and I do like a fairly large shallot so I can pickle them. I think most of this has been down to the fact that I do always start them off in cell trays, and I tend to leave them in there too long and they become root bound, so maybe a lesson for next year, that is. The first potato harvest of the year was a few buckets of Swift, and they did produce a decent crop. It was a bit of a light thought for these because these were surplus from another allotment here, and rather than throw them away I decided to throw a couple in a tub, and they did give quite a good return. I've got some Charlots out on the plot which we'll have a look at a bit later on and see what they're going to give us. I must say there's not been much filming activity going on the allotment the last few days, just the usual weeding and watering. What I have been doing now is building this gazebo, as you can see here. It's a nice strong aluminium section, powder coated with a tough polycarb roof, and it's quite high in the centre. I haven't bothered filming it, I've just cracked on with it. On the outside there's going to be some full insect mesh curtains which will fit all the way around, and also on the outside of that will be full weatherproof, the canvas waterproof material, and both of those will be running on rails so you can open and close them. Still got the floor. I want to give that a good clean and probably a jet wash because I have ordered some furniture to go in it, so hopefully we'll get some warm weather and we can be enjoying that later. When it comes to thinning the parsnips out, I've got a few strays that had been taken root outside of the collars, so I decided to try and lift these as carefully as I could, taking with them the taproot. And what I did, I created a row, planted these much closer together than I normally would, hoping to grow these on as baby parsnips. And for a few days these seemed to be okay. However, I had a few days away from the plot, and when I got back the intense heat had got to them and they'd all wilted, so that was a bit of a failure, but never mind. I mentioned earlier the aphid infection we had during the early part of the season really clobbered the calabrese, as you can see. Most of these had gone to seed. As soon as they formed the head, they actually bolted. There's probably 1 or 2 I could save. And but what I'll do, I'll chop the heads off and see if we can get anything out of the side shoots. The rest of the stuff, the cabbage and cauliflower, seem to have picked up okay, although the damage is still visible. I've just spotted a little cabbage in there that's ready for picking, so I'm going to nip inside and get that. I'm about to do my first container load of Charlots. These being my favourite potato of all. Must say I haven't watered these for a really good while, so I don't know what to expect. Most parts of the country have had some extreme heat, so I hope you're all coping well. The garden takes some looking after. We water and that, but to be fair, because I've got a lot of humus in the soil, these have not been too bad. Anyway, got rid of that foliage out of the road. Let's have a look what we got. Some nice clean potatoes in there. These was 4 tubers in a 30 litre, and it was old potato compost revived, I think, with the potato fertiliser. Nice clean these are. These are nice on the salad as well. I think I've got about 12 buckets of these to do. So there's lots of little ones as well. Probably could have been in a bit longer. I'll see if I can remember the dates. Have a look at my book and put underneath the actual planting date and today's date. It'll give you an idea then of how long they've actually been in. So that's about it for the first tub. So there's 4 tubers there, and that's not a nice haul, not a bad haul actually, and nice and clean. I'll give these a swill under the tap and I'll show you later. I've just given them a wash in the bucket, and that's what we got. There is a slight sign of scab appearing on 1 or 2, so maybe I need to fetch them out a bit earlier than I thought I'd do. There's a couple of green ones where they've actually popped to the top of the surface, but I can chop that out. But all in all, nice and clean, and I'm going to enjoy them both on their dinner and salad. So as you can see, the curtains are on, the fly screens are on, the French has arrived, and so has the really hot weather. It's been baking up the last few days. This has been a really good refuge for us because we can come in here out of the direct sun but still get some fresh air. As well as filming the last few clips that I realised we're midway through July and I still haven't done a plot to it yet at all, so hopefully in the next few days I'll be going around with the camera having a look at the various beds, what we've grown in there and cropped if they've already come out, and hopefully we can get that put up within the next week or so. So that's about it for this one. Thanks very much. A bit different from usual, but nonetheless we're up to speed again now. So stay safe all, and more importantly, keep hydrated. See ya. Bye for now.